Okay, I think I just replaced half of my daily tasks. Not in a scary way, but in a way was this not a thing earlier. Kind of why I tested something called QClaw for a week and it's very different from the usual tools. It does not just answer, you actually get things done. Like your computer starts doing the work while you are doing something else, and I want to show you exactly what does look like. Okay, I think AI just replaced half my daily tasks, not in a scary way, but in a why was this not a thing earlier kind of way. I tested something called QClaw for a week, and it is very different from the usual tools. It does not just answer you, it actually gets things done. Like your computer starts doing the work while you are doing something else, and I want to show you exactly what that looks like. Most AI tools I have used feel like assistants. You still have to manage. You ask something, it responds, you fix it, you ask again, you are still doing most of the work. Every tool needs its own tab, its own login, its own learning curve, and at the end of the day, you are the one connecting all the dots. I wanted something that could actually finish tasks, not just to respond to them, something that works the way I think, not the way the software wants me to think. So QClaw is an AI agent, and I want to be clear about what agent actually means here. It is not a chatbot that answers questions. It is software that takes actions on your computer on your behalf. You send it a message on WhatsApp or Telegram, and your computer starts executing the task in the background. No new app to learn, no dashboard to navigate, no code to write. You download it, scan a QR code, and in about 3 minutes, your agent is live. That is the whole setup. And here is the part that actually stopped me. QClaw is built on top of an open source framework called OpenClaw. In 2 months, OpenClaw gained more GitHub stars than React, and Linux did in the same period. React powers most of the web interfaces you use every day. Linux runs most of the servers behind the internet. OpenClaw outpaced both of them, and 99% of QClaw itself was written by AI. The tool used its own technology to build itself. That is not a marketing line, that is in their actual development log. The first thing I noticed is that it feels nothing like opening another AI tool. There is no interface to get used to. I just sent a message the same way I text anyone, and my laptop started doing things. The first task I gave it was to go through a folder of files, organize them by type, and rename everything. Normally that takes me 20 minutes of clicking and dragging. It was done before I finished making coffee. That was the moment I realized this was actually different. Then I started pushing it with real daily work. I had it monitor a specific website and notify me when new listings appeared. I had it pull together research from multiple sources into one structured document. I used it to draft and send follow-up messages for things I kept forgetting to do. What makes the difference is that it handles the full sequence, not just one step, but the whole flow from start to finish without me having to stay in the loop the entire time. I could set a task and actually walk away. That is not something I have been able to say about any other tool. The most interesting thing I noticed after a few days was how it started adapting. It picked up on the way I structure things, the tone I prefer when writing, the format I keep going back to. Repeat tasks started getting faster because it was not starting from scratch each time. It started to feel less like a tool and more like something that actually understands how I work. That is a different kind of useful. Now, one thing I want to talk about because I think it matters, QClaw runs locally on your machine. Your data does not go to the cloud. There is a built-in AI security gateway that monitors what the agent is doing in real time and intercepts anything that looks risky before it happens. For me, personally, that is important because if something is running on my computer and accessing my files, I want to know it is not sending anything anywhere. This is especially relevant if you are handling client work or anything sensitive. It is not just a convenience tool, it is built with that level of seriousness. Now, to be honest, it is not perfect. Sometimes the output needs adjusting, sometimes a task takes a couple of tries to get exactly right, but the key difference is you are never starting from zero, you are refining, not rebuilding, and that shift alone changes how much you can actually get done in a day. The time I got back this week was real. After a week with QClaw, I can genuinely say it changed how I approach my work, not because it is flashy, but because it is quiet, it just runs and things get done. If you deal with repetitive tasks, research content, or just want your time back, this is something worth looking at seriously. They are opening early access right now and spots are limited. I will leave the link below if you want to get in early, but I am curious about something. Would you actually trust an AI agent to run tasks on your computer? Let me know in the comments because I think this is a conversation worth having.